Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. All right. So today is leg day. That's typically what my Fridays are, but it's what I call a special leg day. Now, this ain't got to be for the streets. You ain't got to do this. I'm just saying this is what I do once, maybe twice a month, depending on the week that I've had. So when I got like recruiting events, they tend to be for the week, or at least Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So somewhere in there, my workouts, whether it's Tuesdays is shoulders, Wednesdays is back, Thursdays is chest, and even if I don't have an event on Monday, that might take a hit those days. I might have to take a set down, in order to still do the workout or the circuit itself, and then still do my cardio. And I want to make sure that I get a good breakfast before I leave. And then I don't like being late anywhere. It's just an irritant of mine. Like if I'm sitting in traffic and I knew I could have got ahead of that. I'd rather just get where I'm going and be there early and be that person. I'll just sit in the truck, man, and listen to YouTube or something. But so when I used to go to the gym on Fridays, which was my leg day is a popular day. It might be somebody's regularly scheduled leg day. It might be somebody that's doing legs 2 to 3 times a week. That happens. Or it might be somebody that's just doing legs because it's trendy to do legs, because that's the thing as well. So when I was at the gym trying to do a circuit, which is always tough because there's other people's there, and it's not my gym. We all paying the rent, right? I would be bouncing around trying to do the circuit, and if somebody would work in like on the leg extension machine or the leg press, because I'm a leg press guy, I would do something in between. Then I just started doing like an upper body circuit. Now it's not like a full all out, but it'll be 2 exercises for the upper body, including core, after I'll do my leg circuit. It's a lot, and it definitely hits the calories that I want, especially before I'm gonna do the Stairmaster today, because I've been watching Mayor of Kingston. So it's a little early, and I'm gonna do that. The theme for the day is something I think we're all familiar with: self-sabotage. I am like the mayor of Kingston. I am the mayor of self-sabotage in Mike Land and what I'm doing. And the crazy part about like self-sabotage is that it's happening. And for me, I was at the point to where I was no longer blaming the external stuff, right? I'm no longer blaming people, events. I knew what I was doing, and I was doing enough to myself to where I didn't even recognize who I was becoming or who I'd become. So it would be on some stuff like, I would sit there and maybe got drunk when I said I wasn't gonna drink that day, and then I'm like, well, that's how I am. I know me. It's the sabotage, man. I've convinced myself that you're gonna do this. Like I always talk about discipline, how you gotta point it in the direction you want it to go. That voice in your head that's telling you, yo, we gotta do this. That could be bad or good. So I did a lot of self-sabotaging before I was able to, make those major changes in my life. Yeah, I'm one of those people that think you can change. I am naive enough to believe that because I did it, and I still try to continue to do it. And that's why I share these videos. Yeah, and the worst thing for me was I didn't recognize who I had become. I was just out here just doing it. And it's crazy. Like even before I had joined the Navy, like growing up, I wasn't an overweight person because just how life was. Life is different. Like you was getting your steps in. Us just going, hanging out places and doing whatever, taking a bus or the metro or everywhere. We was very active because we always used to play ball. If we didn't play for a team, we still were like on a Saturday. Even as teenagers, even 11th, 12th grade, we would still go hoop. Or just do that. Sometimes all day and then finish hooping and then go to like a house party or something. It was like that. To where if I would have had an Apple Watch back then, man, I definitely would have been at a deficit that I was able to track. So the fact that I was able to, I was about $170 in those years. I put on 130 pounds because of my habits. It's just That's life, but it's also just like, man, right? And it wasn't until the emergence of like social media or just getting around different personalities to where you start feeling like it's acceptable. It's acceptable because other people are going through it. And, this is what happens with life and it's common. But as I am now, it ain't gotta be. It ain't gotta be. And I didn't really know the term at the time, like coping, how I cope, my copium, when it came to things that I did. You ain't, even though life gets tough, you ain't gotta eat bad. No, but there's no written rule, right? There's the social media, Facebook group acceptance, probably bylaws telling you, hey, when times get tough, have a drink. Because most people are doing it. That don't mean you gotta do it though. And yeah, I fell into that trap of just self-sabotage. And, once that happened, your personality, I'm speaking for me, your personality might shift, right? I'm out here, I'll be out here freaking spending money I don't have. Like I remember if I got a credit card, it would kind of feel like somebody was just giving me a free check. Even though that's not what a credit card is, like not at all, right? But I was feeling like that. Then I would use the credit card, not knowing how I'm gonna pay it back. It had got to the point where at one point my checking, I would never look at that because it was overdraft, right? And then another point, it was just like with these credit cards, I'm getting defensive when them folks want their money back. Hey, bro, I'm not paying that, right? I'm not paying all that, man. These folks crazy. Nah, I was crazy. It wasn't them folks, it was me. Self-sabotage, man. And now I'm at the point to where, I can't nobody tell me something ain't possible. Especially if I seen somebody do it. Don't let me have seen somebody do it that got, less access to the resources needed in order to do it more efficiently. Then I'm like, okay. But it wasn't always like that. But can't nobody tell me you can't lose 100 pounds because I did it. Now, I understand how tough it is, but I also understand that we will adopt other mindsets as to why we can't do something, man. Like, it's a lot of vulnerable people out here, and a lot of people won't change. And when that happens, you out here just listening to anybody. We'll listen to somebody that'll probably lie as to what it is that they really did. And then sometimes we'll listen to somebody like when it comes to fitness, and they'll try to give you insight, and they don't even look like they're using it. And the only reason you following them is because they got followers. Like, oh yeah, they must be knowing what they're talking about because other people are following them. And then no change. And then if you giving folks money, it's worse. Now, I'm not trying to be a hater or in anybody's bag. That's how it might come off, right? When you say stuff like that, personal trainers should be fit. Man, ain't my space. My thing is, this information I give, if you're gonna use it, cool. I'm not like, that ain't my thing. I just know when it comes to me, I like how I got this little light down here. When it comes to me, what I need to see in order for me to believe what you're talking about. That's it. Like I just can't do it. And then I started like to realize that when you are talking to some of these people that's trying to give you insight for change, especially if you're in a place like you in a deep hole of self-sabotage, it's still gonna come with their stuff. The change itself will still come with, by stuff I just mean, you ever talk to somebody about a goal and they trying to give you the insight on the goal, but at the same time they haven't met the goal, and they say, yeah, I'm about to start doing this too, but they hype and they passionate because the passion you get behind changing, you visualized it, but there was no action. So you'll talk to people that'll be like, man, you can see it in their eyes. They really believe, but both of us stuck. So I stopped, just doing that. And it has ruined friendships, but I'm a straight up person to where I'm like, bro, I'm not about to listen to that. I'm not about to listen to that, especially where I came from. Like what I had to remove myself from. I had the shovel. So I had to get the strength to climb up out of the hole. I'm gonna pass on this exercise, man. Like, y'all don't need to see the recording of me doing this joint right here, man. I just think that would be awkward. So we'll go to the next. Yeah, you be having some that is one cool thing about self-sabotage, believe it or not. You're like, how could there be anything cool about sabotaging your own happiness and success? I was so busy self-sabotaging what I was doing, and at that point, it was just me. I just know how I am. That's just how I'm gonna be. That I wasn't really as toxic, and I didn't used to manipulate people as much during that time. Those were dark days when it's internal like that, but that was a perk. I didn't have to be out here projecting. Because when I used to be out there doing that, it was as bad because ain't nothing getting done in my life either way. Even before I'm like self-sabotaging, like I acknowledged it, and then afterwards, still no motion, still low frequency, still nothing going on. But then it's just like, the first one, I'm trying to bring people down with me. And I had convinced myself that I'm looking out for them. I'm just trying to look out for them so they're not looking stupid out here. You doing all that cardio, you're gonna lose muscle. When I'm telling this to people that are like in better shape than me. Excuse me if the mic start rubbing. So yeah, it was a misery loves company thing, and I didn't want to be alone. So I would try everything in the book to get you to where I was at, and it was pretty crazy, man. Because I wanted to be that one. I wanted you to listen to me, like real. Only difference between myself and a lot of other people is I can just admit it. I can admit that I was like that. Some people can't, and it's unfortunate. But I think eventually, once you do some self-awareness, man, you can. You can. I remember one time, man, it was like a full circle moment. We in a berthing. So I was stationed in Virginia on the Roosevelt. And we had this dude in there, and he was thinking about doing bodybuilding shows. So dude was ripped up, man. And I think he was a CS, a culinary specialist, a cook. I think he was. But he's sitting in the mirror in the berthing. The berthing is where we sleep, and he's flexing, man. All right. I saw it out the corner of my eye, and something in my mind told me to go over there and just mess with him. And I went over there. I said, man, see, you getting too skinny, man. And all the stuff I hear. But the moment was, he's sitting there flexing. By that, he was already probably like how I am now. He's just ignoring me. Whatever I says to. And he could have just, wham, and said something slick. And we probably would have been in there fighting, because that's how reactionary and immature that I was, right? I'm bothering you. I'm telling you something that I think is the truth when I knew it wasn't. And you tell me, man, how you know? You fat. He could have said that, but he didn't. Shout out to him, right? And I remember, like, I'm looking at him. I'm like right here. Just vile. And I pan and look at myself in the mirror, and I see my gut. And for whatever reason, I got more upset with what he had going on. And I kind of like stormed off, man. I'm just trying to look out for you, man. That was like the victim weight mentality before it became like a social media thing. Diabolical. Diabolical word. Yeah, I wasn't looking out for him. It was a clear case of, I didn't like that he figured out what he needed to do. I knew what I needed to do, and I just wasn't doing it. And this was pre-self-sabotage, right? And it's just, man, those are like eye-opening moments. That's why when people are like, man, why are you so hard on yourself? Excuse me if it's rubbing. I'm not hard on myself, pause. I'm not tough on myself. I just know what I was. So when things, might start to lean to the right, I'll think about how I used to be. I'll think about like my mindset. Things I used to think that were impossible. Now, I do these things like normally. I never thought I was gonna be where I am now. That's what I think about. Yeah, there's the bad form of self-sabotage, meaning you know what you're doing is harmful, but you just like, you own it. You get defensive. you one of them cats I used to be. I'm out here bigger, and I'm trying to convince, man, it's when it get cold out here, you gonna want you a big dude. That's why I used to tell like some of these girls, I'm justifying being obese, man. Like and I'm not, don't be offended if that's something you do or you say. These are all coming from like who I was, right? Yeah, y'all getting out here, man. Y'all gonna want a bigger dude when it's cold. That's how that mindset was. Or once I got to the point to where I knew it was bad, but that's just how it is, right? But then there's like a nicer form of self-sabotage to where you ever talk to somebody and they just like, man, I don't think I can do that. Or they'll joke on themselves. I've had people say, man, I be watching your videos, man, I get tired of just watching you running the stairs. Not like tired of it. Some people tired of them too, because I've been doing it for a while, but just they get physically exhausted, like mentally, because it's that overwhelming. And I'm like, man, that's a problem. To where if you look at a video and you get overwhelmed, that's a video, right? Or when people down themselves and they try to laugh afterwards. Man, if I see them core work I should be doing, if my fat behind got up there, I'll fall. Ha ha ha. I'm just gonna look at you. You're not gonna take me down that path with you, because you can do it. You're not there yet. But I ain't about to, that's a nice form of self-sabotage. Nah, you ain't about to take me there, player. Get up. Get up and get on that bar. Man, I be seeing you doing them pull-ups, man. I will fall on my face. No, you won't. And if you do, you get up. If you don't bust your stuff up, go to the hospital, get your stitches, and get to it. I hate that, yo. And it's because that's acceptable behavior. Like our friends, our family, they accept that. Man, my fat behind will fall. And then you got that friend or that family member like, man, you crazy. They're not gonna clap back, try to encourage you. Man, you crazy, man. Me too. Nah, man. I can't do it. So self-sabotage it's a powerful thing because it's an illusion that you believe. And then when you make it happen, then you're like, man, you mad at yourself. And I've been sitting out here messing around, and then that one stings too. Post self-sabotage, you realize how much time you actually wasted. It's one thing when you are convincing yourself something ain't possible, then you see people doing it. You clocking their time as well. You are. If you rocking with somebody, y'all probably was in the same decent shape. They kept going, you didn't. There's anger there. Self-sabotage happened, that's just how I am. This is what it is. Then once you get to where you need to be, because I think everybody can. That's how naive I am. It's just stuff we gotta stop doing. Then we like, dang, man. I probably would have been a lot farther, right? If I would have just stopped. Unfortunately, that's not how any of it works. You go through what you're supposed to go through. That's what I think. If you can change it, you would. But that's why it's called self-sabotage, right? That's why you got to have self-discipline. Before that, you got to have self-awareness. But you wouldn't think it was cool, but the cool part is now I can look at all old photos. I posted this, sometimes I'll just post a photo and it was just me, just different phases of me. And I'm not gonna say every day was a bad day, but when you internally, you're doing things that aren't in your best interest, like, yeah, you can go through that whole, that process of still like it's somebody else's fault, and you can get around enough people that believe that, and yeah, that'll work for a little bit, right? But there'll be moments throughout the day when you know it ain't true. That tends to be how it is. And then when that happens, when those moments arise, how do you act? Are you somebody that be like, man, I gotta change it, or are you projecting? So you spending your day, it ain't possible for you because this, and this, and you're around people that's trying to confirm that for you. And then when you know it's possible, you project. You able to do this because you got this, and this. I was about to cuss. I've been working on my cussing over the year. But it's a messed up situation. It's fixable. It's just when you're ready to fix it. One thing about me is not only am I a truth teller, my truth, but if I'm cool with you, I'm gonna tell you how it is. It's like certain rappers. That stuff comes in doses. If I'm getting too much of a dosage of your nonsense, I can't really be around you. I will still help you. I give you the same tool bag that I use, nothing more, because I don't really know more outside of what I use. But I think people can change. I don't think I was a bad person because I was just rotten to the core, like some of these psychopaths out here. I was a bad person because I took certain things, my father not being there, and universally, statistics will say if your father's not there, it can lead to this. And I would lean into the statistics because I knew people that fathers weren't there and they did fine. But if I knew something was like known to have maybe giving you a disadvantage growing up in the hood, not having any money, I would use that. I would. Like, I think some people would, most people would, but now I just realize that things are possible, man, and I just do those things. And I know life ain't gonna always go according to plan, but I sleep so much better knowing that I at least tried. And it shows me. Like, even like, I'll bring this up, but I created a space to where I can't make an excuse for not working out even if I try. Even if I try, because it's literally downstairs. Him downstairs. That be the basis of these videos. Some people think it's like, anytime you do something outside of the norm and what's considered norm, which a lot of weird stuff is considered norm now, right? You didn't used to have 600-pound people walking around back in the day. I hate to be offensive, but you didn't. If you saw somebody that was 600 pounds 10 years ago, you would be like, man, what is going on? What's going on, right? You didn't see some of the stuff that you see on social media now. Like, I've been off of social media for 2 months, man. And I am an advocate for taking social media breaks. I didn't know how at one point in time because I was doing content for work. And that does take a hit. We was at the events and this kid came up to me. We got a few people that are they're higher up on the chain of command. So our command master chief was there. So he's talking to me and this kid was like, man, I used to see these posts on TikTok. I was the only one posting United States Naval Community College stuff on TikTok because of the way TikTok is. But I had to get off of there. But I used to try to convince myself, I need to stay on here for this. If there is another way to still do it to where I can post content, maybe I gotta hire somebody. Because I want to get the information out, but at what? Like a detriment to my own psyche? So, but I had to get off of there, man. Some of the stuff I was seeing, man, like even some of the content creators I was following was changing their message, man. Like I saw one dude, he used to do all these workouts. Now he do like relationship reactionary videos. And it was just like, well, boom, I don't even remember seeing the video where he made the announcement. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But in order to keep the clicks and the likes, he changed it. That might be some useful information. I don't know. I don't know anything about what's a high value, this pill, 50-50. I just know by stuff that I used to see like on TikTok. The algorithm on YouTube is a little different. You see, I got me in the background, but it's just like, nah, I'm good. Because now it pushes out conflict. It pushes out, topics that you can argue about. It's not like the Wheaties box anymore to where it would be about getting up, getting after it. Because now they call it like hustle culture, grind culture. When you just get up and do the stuff that you might have to put a little bit more effort in. There's a label for that now. If you really, that's insane, right? So yeah, self-sabotage. Clock it. And don't let nobody self-sabotage you. Like I said before in previous videos, I do not think everybody is out to get you. Are there some people? Yeah, but if you sit there and you try to think about why some people do it, it's just hard for me to believe now, being how I am now. How I used to be? Oh, 100%. I had the wherewithal to know why people do it, but now it's crazy now. Like, why would somebody see you being successful in whatever area, whatever you're doing, and not like that? and we know why. But because there's so many other ways to like label it, showing off, showing up, you trying to flex, all this other stuff, it pulls away from what's possible. And you start going into these different pockets, like self-sabotage. You don't think anything is possible. Like, we don't think nothing is possible now, like as adults, because somebody we don't know told us it ain't. And they made it sound like it was legit. They make it sound like, yeah, it really ain't possible to be lean in your 40s. And then when you see that example, and I'm not talking about just me, I try to keep these simple because it's just about me. And then if you're not a liar and you're telling the truth, it flows, right? So people don't think you can be lean in your 40s, and I'm on here telling you what I do, and then people will tell you what they're not willing to do, all while saying what I do is a lie. Boom, that was bars. So we don't think it's possible to just do stuff, man. And that's like a norm. Somebody will quote whatever's impossible, like verbatim, from something they heard from somebody, from something somebody else heard from somebody on why it's not. They'll give you the stat. 98% of people that, lose the weight, gain it back. Who came up with that? They can't even tell you. I saw it on TikTok somewhere. Oh, you lost me. Then I'm going to stay in that 2%. Because I lost 100 pounds in 2008. And this is what I've been doing. A lot of the same stuff, man. And that's what throws people off. I'm here to do that then. I am a myth buster. And it just took me realizing that the ultimate, simplest thing ever, the ultimate counter against self-sabotage. This is just how I am. I'm built like this. You ain't built like nothing. When we was born onto this earth, we was noises and liquids. Hey man, like noises and liquids. And we learned. You learn to walk, talk with some of us. I still be messing words up. I be having to look at my phone how to spell the. Because then your brain starts getting old. You learn how to do everything. You learn how to work out. You learn how to become a hater. Like, I'm that person. I believe that hatred and all this craziness is instilled in you. Because when you were a kid, you pure of thought. You don't know no better. But somebody else that was impacted or affected by that puts that in you. So self-sabotage, you saw somebody doing it. And you was like, oh. And sometimes it's people we see every day, like our parents and stuff like that, to where unless you are able to get away from that and become an individual, which is very tough now because we live in a time of following in trends, we even have the same excuses. I'm bulking. Bulking for 10 years. You ain't even competing. Nothing against it. I'm just saying we gas up mediocrity, bro. I get so tired of seeing people in the fitness space, and we know people ain't doing that stuff, but in the comments, they be lit, man. I needed to see that. And it's not me being jealous. It's just me being old school enough to know, man, I don't see that. I don't see that. And I don't say nothing. Like, I'm not, you never gonna really see me in nobody's comments unless I'm replying to a comment somebody made on one of my posts. I stopped doing that years ago. But the ultimate counter punch or statement, it's a question. When you self-sabotaging yourself, you got to get to the point to where you asking yourself, why not me? Why can't I do that? If I see them doing it, I see her doing it, I see him doing it. Ask them. All you gotta do is ask some of these people, man. Some of these people want to take off on social media, man. They do. Ask them. Enough people ask somebody that's making motion, they can start like a coaching client type joint. I'm telling you because I know people have asked me over the years, but I'm like, the responsibility and when money get involved and people, and I can't want something more than you want it. So I haven't done it. I got a whole space and I got credentials, and I could tell you what my strategy would be. I would get off of everything for a little bit. Excuse me if I rub. Clear the air. Allow people to miss you for a little bit. Like if I take another month off of like Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that, then come back and just make it about, getting my stuff together as a vet, telling you every once in a while you can do it, which I do believe, but show you how to move around some water weight instantly. Lock it in. I got a space. I got the credentials, right? I can change my whole name, doctor, and then put my fitness stuff towards the end and make it seem like I'm important. There's a path to it. I've had companies reach out about equipment, but I like what I like. I have everything here the way that I want it. It's been some cool stuff. I got the walking pad that's coming today. That's for upstairs though, so I can still get my steps in. Video might come on that. Video has to come on it. But I'm just saying, like, it's possible, man. Why not you? Because when you get there, and this sounds so cookie cutter, and it sounds so fake motivational. There's a million people that's saying the same stuff. You know why that is? I think some of them believe it's true. I do. There's nothing that I don't think I can do within my lane. There's certain things I know that ain't gonna happen. But you can't tell me I can't stay in shape. That's the goal. You can't tell me that to discredit the education. And you know, I don't even know the people that I know. They don't know somebody that got as much education as I do with no loan debt. 3 associates, 2 bachelors, 3 masters, an EDS, and a doctorate, no loan debt. 7 of my degrees while in the military. The military's tough. This was during deployment. We've been watching the news. So it's not about being built different. It's not about having an advantage. It's about taking the resources that people put me on and conditioning myself and adjusting to what I needed to do. But I had to leave all that other stuff behind. The excuses, the self-sabotage, the associations and relationships and friendships, even some family that were holding me back. And I just keep going. And every day is not the best day and everything doesn't work out. But I know if I do what I said I'm going to do, all that other stuff don't matter. Sometimes when you have such a void that you need to fill because you're insecure and you're telling yourself you can't do stuff, you become like a pretty negative version of yourself. I see it all the time, man. I've worked with people like that. I saw people like that in the military. I've had friends that become that. And then next thing you know, you worrying about what everybody else doing and why they doing it, and it ain't possible. When you come across somebody like me, I'm gonna tell you it is. And if you don't want to buy in, that's fine as well. Move aside. Move aside. So if you're dealing with self-sabotage, man, fix it. Fix it. There's somebody out here that's making stuff happen. There is a reason that I share everything. I can't come on here, like I see I don't even be knowing how it ends up on my algorithm. When you see the people, they'll say, well, this is where I'm at 46, and things aren't working out and there's no motion. Nothing against them. And I feel sorry because we all go through tough times, but I just took a different path and I have to own that. Like, the military ain't for everybody, but for me, it was a life hack. It was tough. Them 20 years was long. 9 deployments, almost 13 months in Afghanistan. I wasn't supposed to be out there. I peed on myself. I did a video about that. This ain't that. But I guess growing up where I grew up, just hearing gunshots in the neighborhood it kind of pre-gamed you for it, right? You work with horrible leadership. You experience racism. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the military that people don't talk about, because once you raise your hand, you don't want to get yourself in trouble by talking about it. However, knowing that being in there, once I found out that these are things that there are benefits that you can get that people that aren't in the military have to pay a lot of money for, i.e. education, VA loan for the crib, right? My retirement check. It's a different life. But because we all got different lives and backgrounds, and we'll like to forget, or we'll have amnesia, or we don't even think about what other people have been through and what they had access to and used it. So sometimes we'll have access to something, we don't use it. And the only time we get mad is we saw them use it. Then we say we didn't have no access. You did. You didn't want to use it. But we'll do all that and see the outcome and see the goal, and we'll call them lucky and say must be nice and whatever. Get after it. So, yeah, that was I think that was everything. Yeah, I ain't got to see. Usually for core, I do the ab roller, some leg raises, some oblique stuff, man. I'm trying to get an 8-pack at 50. Then I'm just going to be the worst.